What's going on, guys? It's MadManPlant. We are here back in the Jerome Baker studio with another great podcast. It's been pretty hectic. I think it's slowing down now, but it's been awesome. We got Penny Lane with us, who's kind of a staple by your design and ambiance. Welcome to the Smoke Bushes platform.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, we saw you earlier, right as we were talking to Josh,
Yep.
and you were also hanging out with Jessie
Lawless.
Lawless.
I
Yep.
love her.
Yeah, she was actually here earlier. Saw
Yeah.
her for a little bit, and she's great. So
Yes.
one of the things that I want to talk to you about, what your expertise is a lot about marketing and taking yourself seriously. You know, in the MjBizCon forum, a lot of the creators, especially the women there, were speaking about being taken seriously. And even if you're not a woman, just in the cannabis, when you say cannabis, how has marketing with working with magazines and with what you do helped kind of transform that image for not only yourself, but help do that for others?
I think you have to almost take the word cannabis out of it and just understand that it's all a business.
Yeah.
You know, and not even so much as a woman, because it's really the men in this industry who have propelled me forward. I am a huge supporter of women in the industry, but I never let a gender rule it.
Yeah.
You know, I have a passion for the plant. I have an education and a know-how. I have a great network of people, and I love to share it. You know, and so I think with MjBiz, you know, I've gone to every single MjBizCon. I've been to all 13 of them. I got
Wow,
married
that's
at the
congratulations. Really?
I got married at the 11th one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, and so, you know, earlier tonight I was at Grasslands, and I was with the Emerald X execs and the MjBiz staff, and, you know, they like, Penny, you're a staple of MjBizCon.
Congratulations.
I
by the
love
way.
this convention. I work all year long. It leads up to this. This is, you know, I tell people, if you're going to invest in one event all year long, invest in MjBizCon, because there's a little bit of everything here for everybody. If you're a cultivator, if you're in processing, if you're a creator, you know, if you have, you know, an ancillary company, if you're Puffco, you know, there's something for everybody at MjBizCon. And I think that's really important, you know, what we've grown to over the last 13 years.
You know, and I like to say that I've only been going to MjBizCon. This is my third year consecutively in a row. My first year, I didn't even know what it was, honestly. I didn't even know that there was a professional side. I've only been growing for about 3 years now.
Okay.
And we just completed our 15-state, 12-month tour around the United States.
I know. I've been watching you. I've been watching
Have
you
you
on
really?
socials. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, you are one of the people that is in my top feed, because I love what you do. You know, what I do with Everscore as Director of Creator Acquisition is I look for people just like you that are passionate, that have a following, that understand the plant, that have a good connection with the public, that we can do brand, you know, collaborations with, that we can help you guys monetize out here, because it is hard as a creator to monetize.
Well, yeah, and I think also you're diluted by, you know, like fly-by-night brands, fly-by-night
Sure.
people who come into space. They build a little bit of credibility, and within 3 to 5 years, they're gone.
Absolutely, you know, disposable.
Yeah.
Disposable, you know. And so, you know, a lot of what I do is you know, I secure those brands that have longevity, that have been here a minute, that have a good mission behind them, that it's not all about commerce.
Yeah.
You know, that, you know, what the consumer wants is important, you know, being able to price it affordably for the consumer to buy. Those are the brand deals I like to do. You know, companies that have a passion, that have a purpose, and that are also very known. You know, I have like 5 dime vapes in my pocket right now.
That's awesome.
You know?
And your little cassette player right there.
I mean, it's MjBiz. We gotta keep it classy.
You know, it's, you know, that dates me too, because I remember those scattered throughout my house.
For sure, and you
The
get a
silver
pencil,
ones, the black
Yes.
ones, they had the white ones.
The TDX tapes.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, I think back to what you were saying as far as credibility, you know, when we talked about the MjBizCon forums, you know, biggest thing is authenticity.
Absolutely.
And the value that it's okay to be you. You know, one of the biggest things that I like to think is my strong suit is I don't take out the negatives. I don't try to erase the parts, like right now where I can't speak, because that's just who I am.
Sure.
And when you become in front of an audience or in front of a public forum, I think your true authentic self is what always wins, because if you can be confident with you, like I talk, because I speak in front of colleges for students who are getting video production,
Mhm.
is I tell them all the time is you have confidence you can sell anybody. You could make anybody take chances. You could get people to see things that you don't even see in yourself, all by being confident. But you have to understand the difference between providing value and gimmick. And the real
Yes.
value is what we create and what we become by doing business, not necessarily what we get out of that. And if you're only
Yes.
focused about, like you said, money or finances, that's a very small portion. It's usually short-lived. One thing that I love, and like when I talk to you and other people, and you can see it too, is, well, why'd you get involved? And then there's a passionate story. There's a value
Absolutely.
behind that. It's not just,
And I think that,
well,
like, you know, the majority of people in cannabis, at least the ones that I'm surrounded with a lot, you know, we have a passion story. You know, we have, like, yes, we're all working in the cannabis space and we're all here together, you know, celebrating this industry
yep,
in every level. But, you know, how did we come here? I mean, a lot of us, you know, there's a fresh, new, young group of people in cannabis because cannabis has become so largely marginalized legally across the country now, you know, so there's a much broader employment opportunity for
yeah,
people in cannabis, but there's still, you know, a tremendous amount of legacy out here in the space, you know, and for us, you know, for people to see that, like, we stayed the course. It's been a long ride, you know,
yeah,
and letting people, like, people have, like, you know, when you have years and years into the industry, you failed and you failed and you failed and you failed again, but did you get back up?
yeah.
Did you stay the course, you know? And I see young people in the industry and, like, they're content with, like, just being a bud tender or content with just doing this, and it's just such a huge industry.
Yeah. And with the industry, there's a time and a place that we deal with right now where you have so much value to be able to carve out a niche part of this
For
market,
sure.
make it your own, develop your identity, develop yourself, and go out there. There's still
It's a
states that,
creator-based industry. You
exactly.
know, and the key word in creator-based is creator.
Yeah,
You know, we're creators. You know, the people there. There's no. You're not gonna. There's no Budweiser of weed yet. You know what I mean? So, like, we don't have Anheuser Busch horses, the big Clydesdales.
yeah,
We have the creators from state to state because every market's different.
yeah,
You know, talking about the products that they love, the companies that they love, the farms that they love, you know, the spots that they go to, you know, and that's how we've cultivated this industry, you know, as a community. It is such an artistic based industry.
yeah. Well, when you think about cannabis, you have to kind of have a creative mind because you have to
Sure.
be able to step out of the box, anyways, to be brave enough to indulge in cannabis.
For
You know.
sure. And just have, like, you know, I've always said I'm never going to apologize for being a patient.
Yeah, exactly. Why should we?
I mean, and I've caught shit my whole career, you know?
Yes.
Like, I'm an attorney. I have my PhD. And people are like, yeah, but, and I'm like, yeah, but what? This plant saved my life. I have
Yeah.
epilepsy. I am drug resistant epileptic patient. I take 0 pharmaceutical medications because
Congratulations.
cannabis has saved my life and gave me quality of life, the passion story,
Yep.
you know? And that's why I'm here. But I also see the value in the industry and every facet of it where we need people that are like, I just don't know where I fit. All right, well, let's figure out where you fit. Because it's big and a lot of people don't realize, like, there's just so many places you could be. Like, well, I'm a really good accountant. Great, because guess what? We need that.
Yeah, we got businesses that have books. You know.
I mean, so, like, people sometimes forget because of the culture based around cannabis. This is a huge industry.
Yes.
A multi-billion-dollar industry.
I think it's about $56.7 billion per year.
I mean, that's crazy.
Well, and that's why it's amazing that we're still in odds with everything that's going on. We're still in touchy, sensitive places here. It's okay here. Don't do it over there. You know, and it's frustrating because I think what the bigger picture is, we're in a stage where people are in a position of hurt, whether it's spiritual, mental,
I agree.
physical, emotional. We're in a very tough time. The economy, there's a lot of things after COVID that have really played a role, I think, in people's psyche. As a person that focuses on mental health, depression, anxiety, ADHD.
We do have a huge generation of it.
Yeah.
I see it regularly. A lot of my creators, And I'll ask them, is life lifing today?
Yeah.
But like talk to me because I'm here for you, and like I can't help you, fulfill the goal of what if you don't tell me like what's popping off,
Yeah.
and like you have to be relatable to people and have some compassion, empathy, but also be able to guide them in a way where like, I know you're feeling this. This is a minute of your life. It's just a minute of your life, and you're gonna get many more minutes. Just keep
Yeah,
pushing.
this too shall pass, and I think that's the
Absolutely.
biggest obstacle. I think the biggest hurdle is when we're patient and we need it now, and we're in situations that are not designed for us yet. I think the
Mhm.
constant narrative is to do what we're doing and that's why I think the education is so important. And I was just talking to another John, the guy that used to work for High Times Magazine as a writer,
Yes. Okay. Yeah,
and
I spoke with him today as well.
exactly, we just talked, and a bunch of other people is just like on our logo, to fight the stigma of cannabis has to be education because it
Absolutely.
removes all conspiracy, all other types of logic, and it provides just fact and truth.
Sure.
And whether it's a podcast, whether it's somebody's story like yours of how you've used cannabis to benefit yourself and now your brand and your business,
Yeah.
the fact is there is a place. And I think once we open our hearts and our minds a little bit more and we get more education out, more people will try it, and then that'll reach to somebody like me. I used to be against weed. I used to think that people
Oh
who
no.
smoke weed just are stupid
I was too. Like
and
I was that
everything.
guy, like on the high horse. No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
good.
like
But
no,
then
dude,
like
I'm
I
not a
needed it
loser.
to save my life, and then I was like, wait, and I did get to see culture. I'm legacy as they come, So I got to
Yeah,
see the industry evolve, and how freeing it's been for so many people. And there is still a stigma, But I'm a culture keeper,
yeah,
so like let's remember why we're here, embrace this moment, embrace the change, because we've all worked so hard for it.
yeah,
We've all worked, and change is still happening. We've broke down so many barriers within, how the process of law works, how many states we can like freely visit. I traveled here from Missouri, but you could travel from here to Missouri and you would have the same benefits. Like it's amazing to me, and so just opening up the mind of people who have been forever been told this is bad. You're gonna go to hell. But seeing a generation of highly educated individuals, highly motivated, highly ambitious people that live by this plant.
yeah,
Super important. I hope to be an example for people that they can see that, like, I'm not a dumb stoner,
yeah.
but I'll sit and sesh with anybody because let's sesh.
Well, and not only that, but it also changes the demographic too, and
It
just really
does.
makes this universal. It's not about color, it's not about race, it's not about gender.
It's not.
It's about people's love for the plant, and that's why in the cannabis, I like to say that there's a spectrum that we're in. Whether you just started smoking the other day, or you don't smoke because you're government, but you just support it,
Sure.
or whether you've been growing in Humboldt County for 25 years, we're all a
Love.
part of a community, and I think sometimes we get sectioned off by each other and ourselves by, well, I've done this for cannabis and I've done this, but the ultimate goal was it was all self-serving, because if we didn't have that passion or love for the plant, we wouldn't have done it anyways.
Sure, for sure. I mean, it's knowing how to give it back, though, and pay it forward. There
Yeah,
is a generation of people coming into the cannabis space that just really want to be here because they want to know more, because they want to be educated, because they see what we're doing and they're like, I want to be a part of that. It's up to the people that have been here and that have some, stripes on their belt to be like, hey, I got you. Come with me. Like, let's go do this. Oh, you want to meet this guy? Come here. I know him.
yeah,
And being able to be like, hey, this is my friend, and just like giving that introduction, so like maybe they can have that opportunity. It's all about opportunity, but cannabis is one of those industries that doesn't throw opportunity. You absolutely have to go seek the
yes,
opportunity out. It's not gonna just like, hey, guess what? Nah, you gotta find it.
yeah,
I mean, I've been doing this a very long time, and I still seek my opportunities,
yeah.
regularly. So it's just knowing what you want inside this space and figuring it out. But it's beautiful here. I love this plant. Jerome Baker.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, no, he was generous enough to lend us an interview earlier, so we got to speak with him a
Beautiful.
lot, especially about mindset and mental health and
Sure,
clarity.
absolutely.
So that's going to be a great one. I'll
can't
let
wait.
you get back to the party.
Thank you, love.
Penny Lane, how do we follow and support you?
So you can find me on Instagram at og.pennylane, and you can also find me on Everscore at everscore.com/pennylane.
Guys, MadManPlant, Smoke Busters, we have more coming your way. We'll see you guys very, very soon.